Hello and welcome to the Flying Gato YouTube channel. My name is Elias, and in today's video we are going to cover the three things that I've really found out that I hate, let's say the word hate, about my Honda Civic Type R. Now, before we get started, I do want to mention the fact that I love this car. This car is an amazing car for sub $50,000. It's really hard to beat what this car can do. It's got amazing space on the inside. It's got great performance. The engine's amazing. It's got great mileage if you don't, hit that gas pedal too hard. It's got great technology for the highway. It basically does everything extremely well. If you were to ask me if I were to choose a Porsche 911 or a Civic Type R, money were no object, I'd still choose the Civic Type R just for the fact that it's way more practical as a car and I can use it daily without having to worry about those expensive maintenance costs. With that said, there are three things that as a potential buyer or enthusiast for these cars, you should know about. And it actually covers not just this Type R, but a lot of Hondas. And I hope Honda fixes these things. So if you like these kind of videos, make sure to hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you want more videos like this. Let's go ahead and get started. Now, if you guys are a regular viewer of this channel, you know I've talked about this issue a few times now, and you might be tired of hearing it, but I'm not going to stop talking about it. It's a really important issue, and Honda has gotten worse and worse. It has not gotten better, so Honda needs to be put on notice for this, and that's the fact that the paint quality of all Hondas that are coming out, but especially this thing, is just terrible. The quality of this car is extremely high. The panel gaps are really good. There's no rattles at all in the interior. There was a minor few of them at the beginning of the production run that has some rattles and squeaky seat frame rails, and that's been fixed. This car, I gotta tell you, it's got it got more than 4,000 miles. No rattles, no squeaks, no issues, and I don't necessarily live on the nicest road area, so I live in very rural North Florida. Our roads don't get paved very much, and still absolutely no rattles. So the paint quality really lets it down. Let me go ahead and take a closer look and show you guys what I'm talking about. And I literally washed the car this morning, and it's this afternoon and it's already super dirty. This right here is a gigantic paint chip that should not be there. And we have like 6 or 7 of them strewn about the front, and not just the bumper either. It's got some areas on the metal that's not looking so great. This car really absolutely needs higher quality, thicker paint. I mean, the thickness of this paint is laughable. There's like nothing there. There's one there, there's a chip there, there's a couple of chips over there. The thickness is like, one day I'm gonna buy the thing that measures the thickness of the paint, because this is really not thick at all. And maybe it's because this is not considered a premium paint color for the Type R. You don't pay a $400 upcharge for a championship white or a boost blue. Those are considered premium quality colors. Maybe those paints are better. I gotta tell you though, this red, I love the way this red looks for the Civic Type R. I hate the way it just chips if you look at it wrong, especially since this car is gonna be doing a lot of highway miles, a lot of local driving and track day driving. This thing needs to be in its best shape as possible. So it's very disappointing that Honda, I know it's due to a lot of regulations of the EPA and other government regulations wanting to make sure our manufacturing is clean, and I applaud the government for doing that. But when quality of your car and the paint quality especially suffers, the longevity of these cars suffers as well. Can you imagine if I didn't touch up the paint and I just let it go and all the paint starts to get scratched off, how much rust this car is gonna have in 10 years? I can't let that happen, obviously, so I'm going to fix that issue. But honestly, the fact that the paint quality is as bad as it is very concerning. There's even a couple of scratches, I believe from an animal that got on top of the car back here. Here it is, and it looks like, let me see if I can show you guys. It's right there at the tip of my finger. It looks like something went to try to get on top of the car, and it just kind of scratched the paint off right there. Just peels right off. It's insane how bad it is. But that's not the only thing. I think though the paint quality is one of the top worst things about this car. And if you're gonna own something like this and you wanna keep it for a very long time, like I intend to, you're gonna wanna PPF it. So my plan is to buy a kit that I can touch up the paint and try to do it as best I can. And then I'm gonna take it to a professional shop and put a paint protection film on it. It's a transparent film you put on it. It's effectively a second clear coat. Basically, the clear coat that's not on the car right now is gonna be put on by a professional shop, and it's gonna be a much thicker plastic that self-heals and all that good stuff. It's gonna cost me about $3 to probably do that. And that's just insane. I know Savage Geese has a red one like this. He PPF'd the crap out of it, and thank God he did. Otherwise, the paint would just be falling off. So with that said, let's move on to number 2 on this list. Item number 2 has to do with the infotainment system. And let's get this straight. The infotainment system is amazing on all Hondas, the new ones especially. They have Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. It's got everything you want, basically, out of your infotainment system. The reason I list this as one of the things I hate the most is actually because I like it so much that I want to use it a lot more than I currently do. Now, in case you guys missed it, there was a pretty big deal actually. Not just Honda, but Honda, GM, and a few other manufacturers were caught red-handed selling customer data to outside parties. And this data had everything to do with your accelerator pedal, how quickly you were going, your average speed, sometimes your location history. That to me is kind of ridiculous. And just a bunch of other things that should not be shared with other third parties. Look, I get it. Apple, Google, pretty much every other company, they all use our data to sell products and to sell ads, and that's how a lot of these companies make a lot of their money. But I don't need my Honda Civic to do the same thing. I paid good money for this car. It's my car. It should do what I want it to do. And yes, I do want it to use my cell phone and use my Google Maps, and I don't really like the fact that Google takes my data and then sells me ads, but it is what it is. I don't then also want Honda to take my data and also make, sell my data and make more money off of that. And it's not about the fact that it's making money off of me. It's about the fact that where's my privacy going? I expect at some point to have some sort of privacy. And a lot of people have, connected homes, right? They have these Amazon Echoes or whatever they're called, and Android. You could say, hey Android, or hey Amazon, or hey Alexa, whatever it is. What's the, play X amount of songs. Like, I don't have any of that turned on. In fact, my iPhone, I turned all of the microphones to crap off. I don't want it passively listening to me, and I think it still does somehow, but all the microphone permissions are off on my cell phones. I don't want all of this privacy gone. I like a little bit of privacy in my life, and it's not that I'm hiding anything, and even if I were hiding anything, it's none of your business. But I'm not hiding anything. It's not because of that. It's the idea that just about anybody can access all of my information from their fingertips, right? From anywhere. It could be some guy, some rando in India looking up, hey, this guy Flying Gato likes a bunch of weird shit. Let's send him weird ads or whatever it is. It's like, no, I'm not for that. The fact that Honda was caught red-handed has forced me to mount my phone directly to the dash and use my phone as my primary source of maps, of basically everything. And I really don't use this screen except for the Log R app that the Type R specifically has, and it shows you temperatures and things like that, which is kind of cool. Other than that, I really don't use this at all. Let me do a little pull here, make sure there's no vehicles around. That's nice. I really don't need my insurance company to know that I accelerated from 0 to whatever speed that was in a very quick manner. I'm here, there's literally no cars on these roads, nobody lives here. It's quite lovely, by the way. And so I'm really not posing a risk to anybody but really myself. And so I don't want my insurance to cancel me because Honda told my insurance, hey, you know, so-and-so is doing some crazy stuff. That's none of their business. My insurance should know when I call them, or when the police tells them I'm doing something illegal. That's basically it, in my opinion. So that's one thing I really hate about Honda and what they're doing. I really hope that soon Honda kind of fixes that and addresses that so we can go back to using our infotainment system as they were designed. But honestly, this really bothers me a lot, obviously enough to put it in this video. The last part, and as I'm driving here and we just did a little pull, my MPGs, especially today on a Sunday, I go for a fun drive where there's no cars. I tend to drive very spiritedly on these nice curvy back roads that I do have in North Florida, by the way. It's a very well-kept secret that North Florida has really great roads. So I'm not getting great gas mileage. I'm getting like 24, 25 miles to the gallon, which actually is pretty good. The reason it's not great, as I say, is because the gas tank, and this is number 3, the gas tank on this car is freaking tiny. It's the size of a goddamn thimble. You're having a ton of fun. You're shifting to 4th, 5th, and 3rd. Let's do a 3rd gear pull. Hell yeah. Do a little 4th gear pull. And that motor sings and everything's perfect with the world. Then you look down at your gas gauge and you're like, holy shit, I just filled up this morning. How am I less than half? Before you know it, you're back at the gas station not having fun. That's a big issue in my opinion, especially if you're using this car as your everyday do everything car, as I assume everyone's gonna do. It's a hot hatchback after all. I love downshifting. Get this little corner nice and fast. Hell yeah. It's really hard to have a bad day when you own a Civic Type R. But then I look down again and I'm like, I've only done 94 miles with this tank. I probably only have another 100 miles to go on this tank. And to me, that's just ridiculous. The fact that I have to go to the gas station like 3 times a week, how can Honda allow this to happen? At the very least, Honda, please give us an aftermarket solution. Give us a way to pay. I'll pay $1,000. I will pay $1,000 to get a bigger gas tank in this car. I will. Because that allows me more range, allows me more ability to drive longer periods without having to stop at a gas station. And I promise you, Honda, I will keep the gas tank at half capacity to lessen the weight of the car when I'm on track, okay? I understand that the bigger the gas tank, the higher the weight of the car is because fuel weighs, quite a lot. 20 pounds of fuel weighs a ton more than 10 gallons of fuel. That's literally double. And so I get it. But I really wish Honda gave us an option or something to increase the fuel capacity back there. At some point, I don't know, I might look into ways to upgrade that myself. I don't know if the Honda Pilot's gas tanks work back here because it's a bigger gas tank. I'm not sure if I can get something from the parts catalog. Hell, if I have to, I'll drill a hole in my hatch and I'll put a fuel cell, like a racing fuel cell back there. You could actually do that. And the only thing is that every time I go fill up the fuel cell, I have to go fill it up by opening the hatch and filling up the trunk. And maybe the car will smell like fuel a bit in the inside. That's something I may have to do. I don't know yet. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. So with those 3 things out of the way, the fact that it's only 3 things, that's a little bit surprising because most cars have, a lot of compromises, a lot of things that, you wish the engineers did better. But I think Honda really did a great job here. They knocked it out of the park. The things that I said are fairly minute and there's ways around it. If you really want a lot of range out of your gas tank, for example, just get better mileage, drive slower. If you're concerned about the paint quality, get a paint protection film. And if you're concerned about the radio and the infotainment system like I am, just use your phone yourself. It's already selling your data. Might as well let it sell more data. And the only thing you gotta do is, get this, and I'll put the link in the description for this, where I mount my phone. It's really nice. But just get one of those and you're all set. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. If I missed anything, if you disagree with me, again, let me know if I'm stupid or if you don't like the video. Also let me know in the comments. I'm always happy to read them. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.